We interview everyday people like yourself that uplift and empower, shifting the narrative of news from a traditional negative experience to more impactful.
So to start off, go ahead and give me your name and your pronouns.
You said name and what was that?
Name and pronouns.
Name, yes. Name is Imani VANZAP, and it's she and her.
Go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started on Instagram, wanting to be in the social media space. The way that the story goes, my nephew, some people get that, who makes me up, if you will, basically has been doing social media for the past 15 years. And then this Imani VANZAP energy has come out and started on Instagram about 4 years ago and made a nice name for myself there. Did commentary on a reality TV show on YouTube called Chasing Reality, where I pretty much was kind of like the Iyanla Vanzant of the series. And I would come in and do objective thoughts on, people's lives and how people should treat each other and all that kind of stuff. Left there, went to TikTok, and it's almost like the rest is history to where we are right now. I went to TikTok and went viral in, was it 2021? Yeah, last year, went viral 2021 last year. Got almost up to 1 million people within 12 months. And so basically I've just been spreading love, and that's kind of how it's been. I started a line called Become. So if I clack this fan, don't let it scare you, Alyssa. I'm not trying to freak you out. It's my way of accentuating whatever I say. Become! That's who I am.
So this is gonna be the first question is what made you want to become an entrepreneur? Also, like what made you want to start that Become line?
Entrepreneurialism, I believe, has always been a part of me. I've always sold things, and when I was in grade school and they would give you the order forms and you sold candy for school, I was always like one of the top sellers. I just love business, and I love being able to create your own footprint in the world by way of providing a service, a good, or an act even that helps to make a world a better place. So I think that was pretty much already in my blood. By the time that I got to TikTok, which is where basically everything kind of like exploded and it's like Imani's everywhere, I literally bought this cheap $10 fan from Amazon because the lights get hot and I didn't want my face to melt off. So I bought the fan to just keep me cool. While I was using the fan, I was doing the duets like I normally do, and the makeup transitions really touched me. And it seemed as though the people were becoming something. It was more than makeup. It seemed like their inner being, everyone's inner Sasha Fierce was coming out. And I just noticed it, and all of a sudden, I remember one day I just said, become! And from that first time that I said become, it literally set off like a brush wave. And the next thing I know, I have like full merchandise, my fans, I've got my hoodies that I sell out there. It was after many attempts to try to get something that sticks, Become finally was the thing. That was after maybe 10 tries.
And do you feel like your TikTok platform kind of helped you push your brand, kind of made it as big as it is?
I do. TikTok is like any app. There are going to be things you love about the app, things you hate about the app. Nothing's 100%. TikTok has its problems. But I will say, by and large, that app was my saving grace. I had tried MySpace, and show y'all I'm dating myself now. I tried MySpace, then, of course, Facebook, Instagram. I did Snapchat for like 2 weeks, and I just couldn't do it. Twitter, I tried YouTube, of course. I tried every platform, and I would always get just like a splash of what I felt that I could do. And when I came to TikTok, I think one of the beauties of TikTok is that it is so organic that literally, you're always meeting people who are just like you. It has this really interesting way, and it's starting to change. But when I got on there, I think I got on there at the last wave of how open it was before the big money started coming in and things started kind of getting a little bit more boxy. I was on that last wave, and I had never seen anything move so fast, so quickly. And after 20 years in the business, TikTok definitely did it for me.
So out of all the platforms that you've been on that you just named, which one is TikTok your favorite, or did you have a different one that you felt kind of fit you better?
That's a good question. Go ahead and listen. I like this line you got me on today. I love talking. I It's like you like different ones for different reasons. So I can't really say one is like tip top. I like Facebook because it's more intimate. It's your friends and family. Now that can get kind of dicey, but I do love the closeness of those people watch me from a little seed to grow into the oak tree that I am today. Ooh, I'm dropping my fan. Hold it again. Bam, you know. Instagram, I do love the fact that it's like several forms of media that come into one. You can do print, you can do video. You got the stories that are on there that you're always showing your life. I'm a very in the moment type of person. TikTok, I think at the end of the day, I seem to have found a new vibe. I feel like I found my people on TikTok. Facebook may be family and friends, but that's not necessarily your people. TikTok, those are my Jones right there. I'm ride or die for them, and they ride or die for me.
So you had mentioned earlier that you have that you meet people through TikTok. Who have you met either that has a similar platform to you or a different platform from you? Who have you been able to meet through TikTok?
I met oh goodness, oh wow. Well, there's many places I can go, but I'll give you just a few. On the up and coming side, I've met another performer actress who I love so dearly. Her name is Shia Dani. Shia Dani is so funny. She's a Latin princess, and when she comes out, she wears these big hats, and she says, "I am back, even though you don't deserve me." And then she does all of her comedy, and she's wonderful, and we've become friends. We took a liking to each other, and we're always writing messages, and how you doing out there? She's in Canada, and I'm in America, and we're always, how you doing? How you doing? And she told me one day, she said, "You're my only really true social media friend." She said, "A lot of fake people are out here." She said, "I really feel like I love you." And I was like, "I love you too." So she's on the newer side. On the more established side, as of late, I got the chance to meet Portia Williams from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that was amazing. And now we've become friends. And I'm trying to do with her what you're doing with me. I'm trying to get her on my little show. But I got the chance to meet her, and it was just amazing because I've watched her for so many years. She knows who I am. She knows my moves. I gave her a fan, and she knew how to clack it. And I was just like, oh God. So there are many people that I've met that have been beautiful, but I would say the two of them are really dear to my heart.
So go ahead and talk about the show that you're trying to get her on.
Well, it's my show. I call it. It has been called, as a working title, it was called Imani VANZAP Conversations. And that was really honestly, I would say, on Instagram, where I started to kind of make a move on Instagram because people were looking for just a way out. The world is still in a state of distress. We're getting better, but there's still enough distress where people are just kind of like, what's going on? What do we do? Government doesn't care about us. And I decided that I would start talking to people and introducing them to the world like you're helping me do right now. And so that has been the working title, Imani VANZAP Conversations. But I'm getting ready to change that title. And I think that the next thing that I come up with is what's going to really catapult me.
How does it feel to be social media's #1 auntie?
I want to say it feels amazing, but I think the more appropriate word, it feels right. I feel that a lot of people, they get famous on social media, but they're not who they really need to be. Just because you went viral and got millions of people doesn't mean that you know who you are. I know that I have a very nurturing spirit. I know what joy my aunties brought to me. I know how safe my aunties made me feel in the world, even apart from them. They just instilled something in me that was invaluable. And I believe that that is what I'm bringing to the world now. I believe that a lot of people that are getting attached to my platform now, it's not being popular for the sake of being popular. It's actually connecting with someone And an auntie, for most people, you'll connect with your auntie before you connect with your mama. So it feels good.
So this next question, I'm gonna kind of put it into two questions because
Okay.
you are a content creator, and I like asking this question
Okay.
to content creators, which is, how do you deal with negative comments? But the other question is, how do you keep your positive, uplifting vibe when things get tough?
Oh, wow. I love both of these questions. Okay, and if I forget the second one because I get too deep in the first one, just remind me. So as far as the haters and whatnot, again, I've been doing social media for about a good 15 years and have been called every name in the book, have been just, trashed, by not hordes of people, but, people, you're always gonna get some knucklehead. And for many years, I felt the need to defend myself. I felt the need to say something back to them because you don't know who I am. I am a nice person. I'm not what you say. And I felt like I needed to prove myself. But if you get into a mode of trying to prove yourself as a content creator to people that say negative things, that will become the nature of your platform, arguing with people. And there are people that are content creators that they literally love making content where they just argue with people. They don't have anything on the inside, so let's just rip each other apart for views. I don't do that. As I've matured in my content creation journey, I've gotten to the point now to where I don't even pay attention to them. I literally just move on. They're so predictable. No one's even coming with new material. So I'm like, if you want me to react to something, give me something new, start a rumor, do something fun. But if you say something nasty, like, that's old news, child, I don't need that. So that's that part of it. Second part was, remind me again.
How do you keep your positive, uplifting vibe when things could get tough?
So here's
so like that can kind of go with the haters, but it's also just like in general life stuff.
Yeah, I totally feel you. You're right. As far as the hater portion of it, to come off of that question, I just remember at all times who I am. And I think that's I don't want to make anyone upset here, but there was a recent incident that happened on a big award show where someone was upset because of a comment that someone made. And so they took that opportunity to not just even voice their disdain, but they went up there and they assaulted the person. And I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, but I am here to say is this: when you become totally secure within yourself, little things don't matter like that. Because the very next thing that happened for that person is they won the award of their life, but now it is stained by the fact that you let a comment get under your skin. Even if the comment was made by a famous person on millions of, national TV with millions of people, you're still in a place to where you are still bothered by what people say. I aim to live a life where people do not get to me like that. And even if I am with someone that I love, that we are strong enough to where we don't even have to do any of that. So I want to make sure I tie that in there because that's very important to me, that we all change from within. The second part of that question, as far as positivity, my answer for that is a little bit different. You can't stay positive. I have days where I wake up and it is negative as all get out. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to put on no lash. I just want to lay in the bed and eat chips all day and feel sorry for myself. And if I ever have a day like that, I do it. You're not going to be able to stay positive. What you can do is you can stay consistent. Consistency always wins because consistency brings you through positivity and negativity.
So what I just heard from you was positivity, but I also heard self-care. That self-care is very important. That if you have a day where you need to just chill out, chill.
Yeah. You're not gonna feel like it every day. And I think that's one of the things that I'm feeling people are beginning to turn a corner with that language that we put out there, hustle culture and go, 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 go. Get the highest number, get the highest dollar, get the highest, the best, more and more and more. And when you only make more your goal, you can't appreciate the times when you have less. There's a song that I'm a music person. And there's a song that I love to listen to. It's called "Be Grateful," and not to get into a lot of lyrics and vocals. I want to tear y'all up with my voice today, but the song basically speaks of appreciating the good and the bad times. You've got to let yourself feel all of life. Every emotion that you have on the inside, from joy to anger, are yours to have as a human being. And we are fortunate enough as mammals that are on this rock floating through space to where we can make the most of those feelings. Animals can't do that. Animals have to just tear each other apart to live, to survive. As human beings, we have the opportunity to use empathy and thought and say, this is how I will treat my life based on what's happening. This is the way that I will make for myself. I don't have to do what people normally do. I don't have to get angry like everybody else does. I can use joy and get through this. And I can have joy even when I'm sad. If I want to eat some praline ice cream that my mom used to do, a butter pecan ice cream in the bed with my pink socks on, let me do it. Let me do it, because that is how I want to care for myself today. As long as I'm not hurting and destroying myself, doing things that are tearing apart at my spirit, I can do whatever I want to do, because it's all on my journey and those are my experiences to have.
What challenges did you face getting your business started? And it can apply to your social media too. What challenges did you face getting your social media platform and your business?
I would say social media, I'll go to social media first, since that started first. It's being okay with being wrong. And I think what happens a lot of times, I've seen a lot of people that have started into the game of social media, and they're very positive, and you can tell that's who they are. They give great advice, and then somewhere along the way, they grab the wrong trend. And by wrong trend, I mean the wrong trend for themselves. Even if you do want to hit a hot topic, there's a way to do it with integrity. You don't have to chase the most sludgiest, grungiest, grimiest thing to get views. And again, not to name anyone, because I don't want nobody have too many receipts on who I'm talking about. But there was one social media woman that I loved listening to when she very first came out. She gave great advice. And then as she began to grow, she grew very rapidly like I did. She got on this trend of making very disparaging comments about a very famous rapper. And it went on and on and on to the point to where the girl got sued for $4 million. That only happens when you're not on your path. When you are on your path, it's not to say that people won't throw stones at you or that people won't try to sue you or whatever, but they won't be able to win over you because the strength and integrity of what you're doing is sure. A lot of people get into this game and they're not sure. It's fun. It looks great. A lot of people know you. People are sharing you. It looks great to open up your phone and there are notifications out of the wazoo because everyone is sharing you and you're so great. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times that comes with people that are sacrificing their integrity for those numbers. When you decide to grow with your heart and to grow with caring about other people, it's going to take a little bit longer. And it took a long time for me. In all, it took me over 20 years to get here. In short, as far as this phase of my career, it took 4 years for this. So you have to be willing to see the long game and not want to go viral. I want to be impactful, not viral. That's the social media side. The business side of it, you don't want to grow too fast. I'm signed to a record contract now, and the guy that is over most of it, we talk all the time, and he always says, Imani, we have to crawl, walk, run. A lot of times people will start in business and you get excited because you got your first sale. Now you think you need to run a whole emporium. No, that's not what you need to do. Size down. I had to learn that lesson. Size everything way down to where you have sure bona fide success in one lane. And as soon as you burn that lane like rubber and you make tire tracks everywhere and the road is blazing with fire, then you open up a new road. So a lot of people, they try to move too fast, too soon, and you end up short-circuiting yourself. And a lot of businesses close within a year because of that very thing.
So what advice would you give to somebody who is looking to be positive on social media or start their own business?
I would say stay the course. It is going to hurt. Trust me, I've been there. I can go live now on TikTok and have almost 800 people. I remember the days in the beginning, Alyssa, when I only had one person. when it was in a person that I can't see. It was more like my baby down here at the bottom, y'all can't see, but it was like I was talking into a camera to a number one. And I have been raised, and it's nature and nurture, to where I always believe in entertaining an audience of one. That audience can be something spiritual. That audience can be something human and tangible. You should always know that you're talking to another being, another source that needs love just like you. And the more that you talk to that one person, no matter how big that number gets, always see that one person. That is what I believe has helped me to grow to this part of my career where I have this many people following me, because I don't see 900,000 people. I don't see that. I see 900,000 individual. That's how you have to look at it. Like, each person has a story. Each person has a journey. Chase that. And the other thing that I would say to that question is tap into your childhood. My platform skyrocketed when I finally just said, you know what? I'm gonna start doing and sharing the things that made me smile as a child. When I did that, it changed everything, because what is one thing we've all had in common? We've all been kids before. And when you know that you've been a kid, I'm not saying that every childhood was great, but for the vast majority, we came out kind of okay, with the problems and all. And what you can take your problems and the joy that you had in your childhood, and if you find a way to package that and serve that thing up on a platter, people will eat for days, because you're teaching them at that point to love the inner child in themselves. People only like following me because I'm teaching you to follow yourself. It ain't about me, it's about you.
What challenges, so let me ask this first. When did you start your business?
All right, so let me tell the truth about that, and I'll make it quick. I have started many businesses. Let's start there. You're gonna have more ideas that fail before you get to the one that works. Become in this whole merchandising, and now I'm opening up. I have a new service now that's kind of like Cameo. It's called Auntie's Touch. When you go to imanivanzap.com, that's my website, you can buy merchandise and everything there. It's working now, Alyssa. But in the beginning, sometimes I was able to start a t-shirt line that lasted 2 months, and then it dried up. I did productions with people that made money, and then somebody gets jealous of you when they shut the whole thing down after 2 or 3 months. And a lot of people, they give up so easily because there's no fight really in them. They want the reward, but they don't want the work. And so part of the work is understanding that you're going to have a lot of ideas that fail in the beginning, but then you're with each victory and failure is always a mountain. It's always a mountain. It's always a mountain. And what you're wanting to do is get better at not falling into the valleys. You're always going to have a dip. That's fine. That's if you look at the stock market, it's always up and down. That's fine. But what you're trying to avoid is plummeting. You don't want to go back to square one. You want to fall forward or fall upward. So keep trying your ideas. If something doesn't work, don't give up. Go back to the drawing board, ball up that piece of paper and start with a fresh one. Always be able to reinvent yourself. Always be able to find a different way to say the same thing you're trying to say. Don't change your message, change the wording of the sentence. I love these questions, Alyssa.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
A lot of them are coming from stuff that you say.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm up here like you giving me, now you may be too young to know who she is. You're giving me Diane Sawyer right now. This is like, or Gayle King. This is high class interview. You better become a list. I know that's right. And I love that, because this is I'm enjoying this time with you, because this is how I do my conversations. I may have 2 or 3 questions I'll start off with. Mm-hmm. And if the person likes to talk like I do, I just roll off of what you say. So you doing any Imani on Imani. That ain't right.
That's what I do with a lot of interviews too, is a lot of the questions come from what the person says, especially if they like to talk.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them will come. And with somebody like you, it's easy because you give a lot of energy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, here's a good question. Why the phrase become? Why not like just from our interview, like why not become yourself, become like why just become?
Or something like another word
Mhm.
attached to it. That's a good question. Excuse me, let me get some water. It took in my throat. Sorry, quick commercial break. ImaniVANZAP.com. Go buy some merchandise. Okay, anyway. Shameless plugs all the time. Become, I always pay attention. I try to always pay attention to what happens when I do a thing, and whatever the thing may be. And when I did become, and I saw how people were, they'll reflect it back to you what it should be. Yes, there is part of it that is my idea or my initiative, but I'm very careful to always make sure that I have an ear to my audience to see what they want, or to see what they noticed, to see what they compliment on. Even, people would say, with me and nephew trying to improve my look over time, that has been because listening to the audience. So when it comes to become, I think that the word is just so bold, and it's so assuring, and it's so hopeful that even in the darkness of this world right now, I think that if I put another word with it, become the best, or become, or da da da, I think it would throw the rhythm off of what the intention of the word is supposed to do, the focus of the actual verb, become, because it's different for everybody. There's someone that wants to open up a bakery. There's somebody that's going after their PhD. There's someone that's getting ready to propose marriage. There's someone that's getting ready to have childbirth. Everyone has something that they're facing on their path that seems greater than what their abilities will let them do. And become is only a reminder. It's not so much a discovery as it is a reminder of how great you really are, and lean into that greatness. We all have that. We all have that. Become. And when you become, that's the magic within inside of you.
So I actually got the chance to look at your website, and I
Okay.
noticed that you have very inclusive sizes. So my next question is going to be is what made you go all the way up to a 5XL?
Wow. Oh, you did your homework, girl. Yes. We are all here. And that means that every person that is on the planet, we are here. And if you can't be included in that, then that to me is saying that you're not here. For me to not have certain sizes, right now I'm in a little bit of a bind because I could only get what my girl just gave to me. But I know what you're talking about. It was the last shirt, and that's coming right back. I want to go up as large as I can, because everybody can become from an extra small to a 5X. All of these people are living similar experiences, and we don't know where in this journey of size and what that means for you, and how you eat and why and what you're doing, the way that you look. Your body is reflecting how you feel on the inside. I don't believe that someone that is 5X needs to be excluded from the message of become simply because they can't fit the shirt. They have a dream too. They want to change their life too. Why can't they have something that they can wear and walk outside and feel proud? And even when the world is jeering and laughing at them, or just, poking fun at them, they can remember that auntie said, don't you listen to them. Don't you, baby? Don't listen to the mosquitoes. I said, that's what I call haters now. They're mosquitoes, and we take and we just zap them away. Get away. We don't need you here. And I think that everybody deserves to amplify that truth in the best way that they can. And if a t-shirt is the only way that you feel is your way, then I got a 5X for you.
I love that because I have a friend, she pretty much does everything right, but she's still bigger because she has a medical condition that makes her bigger. And so she's like, she'll go shopping and she'll be like, they don't have my size.
Her size.
But
Yeah.
or she'll be like, the clothes in my size aren't cute. And we have spent countless times in stores just searching to find something that'll make her look good.
Yeah. And it's really difficult when you're on that side of the spectrum, because the further that you get away from the middle in anything, you're considered almost like a fringe of what it should be. You know, this is kind of how you begin to feel. And when that happens, people are not making a way for you. They're not giving you options out there. They limit your options when you're not like everybody else.
Yeah.
And we need more situations, like you said, with your beautiful friend, where no, include her beauty too. There is a way to cut every single fabric to where it looks good on everybody. There some people need a taper. Some people it's where you taper. Some people don't need a taper. Everyone is not built the same way, and everyone should have the option and the choice to look beautiful in any way that they can.
Yeah, her and I very much relate to that statement because I'm on the opposite side where I'm a little bit smaller. But when it comes to jeans, I'm a little shorter.
There you go.
I'm hard time finding jeans that fit all around because I also happen to be Hispanic, which emphasizes some stuff, but like it's very difficult to find jeans that fit. And so her and I will go through the store and we have to find clothes that look good, but she's done pretty well for herself finding that stuff. And I thought of her when I made that question.
Yeah, I'm glad for both of you in that you're both, you have to sometimes take the status quo and flip it around and make the status quo do what you need it to do. Instead of saying, I can't, what you both are doing in that situation, I like to say, is you're making your own yes. When the world tells you no, you have to make your own yes. Well, if they don't have your size or whatever it is over here, I may have to search a little bit deeper. It may take more tries. I may have to pick 20 things up off the rack, but I know that there's something that is intended for me, and I'm not going to give up until I get it. And so I love that both of you have determined that, and you're fashionable because of it. Do it.
How do you feel being positive on social media benefits others? I know you've touched on it throughout the interview, but how do you feel? Like, I guess my thought process with this was, how do you think it could benefit somebody who is, I don't want to say depressed, but like in a bad mood that day?
Yeah. Now I will say, let me say this though, along with what you're saying. I don't want anyone to get me misconstrued at all. Now, I know I come out here and I clack my little fan and I say become. I got my naughty sides too. But I have a way of sharing and laughing with those things where it's never at anyone's expense. And I think that that's the first and foremost thing. I never wanted my platform to be a platform that is ever laughing at someone else's expense. We've seen what that can do. People don't always take jokes well. Everything that's funny to you may not be funny to me with me making fun of you. And that's just life and what it is. So I would say by and large, I had to decide. And you're asking really good content creation questions. And so I want to make sure that this is set on the record. You have to decide what type of social media person you're going to be. When you decide to get into this game, you can't let going viral change your song. You can't let getting shared, 50 times, all of a sudden now you're going to try to bend and do something else. You got to stay true to who you are. As you stay true to who you are, that's where your success will be. Stay true to who you are. Everything else will come after that.
And where do you want your brand, your social media platform, where do you see that going in the future?
I see definitely something happening in the television realm. I've recently been a featured guest on a show called The House that's on Fox Soul. So if any of you, by the time that this interview airs, I'm not sure how quickly it will, but Fox Soul is another source where you can go and see me once that interview airs. And it's so funny that they had the red carpet party the other night. And it was in LA and I couldn't get back there, of course, to go. But they played it and a promo of it, and someone caught it on camera. So I'm looking at, them looking at it on TV, but just even looking at it in that fashion, I could see the quality of the show was bigger than what I had ever done in my life. And the little clip that they showed of me walking in, and you have to know these things about yourself. And I said, she's ready for TV. I said that myself looking at the thing. I was like, no, she's ready for TV. And when you know that, when you can see it for yourself, that is where I think the best way I want to answer that question. Where I see myself in 5 years, I feel better about it because it's what other people saw in me years ago. And the thing about imposter syndrome, people can see greatness in you all day long. If you don't see it in yourself, it don't matter. And so I had to finally get to a place in my life where I said, no, I see it too. I am great. I am loving. I am funny. I am pretty, damn it. Whatever. I don't know if you're allowed to cuss on here. Sorry, edit that out. But you know what I'm saying? You had to get to a place in yourself where you can smell your own roses. You know what I mean? You can eat your own strawberries and enjoy and relish in how effervescent they make you feel. You bring forth that fruit. It's not for everybody else and for you to feel like crap at the end of the day. You should also be uplifted by your art and your voice.
All right. So you mentioned TV. So if you could pick a streaming platform, what streaming platform would you put a TV show on?
Right now, I don't know specifically where, but I would say that if I have my pickings of where I would want things to go, I would first want to see if maybe there is something at Fox Soul. They may need a different type of a voice for someone like me. I think that's maybe if full stardom doesn't happen in the next couple of months with some stuff I got going on in the background, and it's still a crawl, walk, run situation, I would love to get on a smaller network first, but one that has respect, like a Fox Soul or maybe a Stars or something like, something that's a little bit more like we here, but we just kind of chilling in the cut, and then advance that to maybe a VH1 or a Netflix. I'm very much about streaming and all that sort of thing. So a Netflix or a Hulu, something like that. I'm very, and probably definitely more so that because we're moving into more of a streaming world. TV is brick and mortar and it's of sorts and it's dying. But I definitely could see doing something like that. Something on a fun network that's really popular and cool.
I like how you mentioned the smaller platform because
me
myself, I'm obviously a journalism student, stuff like that. I'm actually going into my last year of school at the start of next school year. And I've always been like, I want to go to a smaller newspaper, or a smaller, not even newspaper necessarily, a smaller platform in the journalism circle, because I was like, I may have more of a voice there. I could help uplift them to be where, your big news sources are. And even WeINSPIRE, who I'm interning with now, I consider them to be pretty big. Some people haven't necessarily heard of them, but a lot of people, once they find out about WeINSPIRE, they are like totally for it. I've had people that I've interviewed that now follow us and on social media, and it's a lot. Like, I love WeINSPIRE and I want to go. I definitely, like, the more I come closer to ending my school, it's like more that I want to go to something similar to this, or just to like a smaller news source so that I could help them, grow, because I have experience in not only hard news now, but thanks to WeINSPIRE, I now have the experience in doing human interest and soft news. And so, like, I think with all of that, I could very much benefit up like a starter news source, kind of like how you wanted to do a smaller television
Yeah.
platform.
It is easier to find your voice. You should firstly, as you were saying, or maybe someone implying, do your research to figure out where you want to be. You know, like you said, like if you know that there's a specific newspaper you want to go to or publication platform, like really research them to see what the culture of that business is. If there's a possible way to figure out how other people feel about working there, because the one thing I can say, the catch to that is you can be in smaller situations with people that are just small-minded and they become jealous. So every small situation isn't bad. I mean, every small situation isn't good. So definitely seek the one that works for you. Small, okay, number one, now what's the best of this that I can be in? And once you figure out what that is, and you're in an environment where you can thrive with other people, jealousy is not a thing that you contend with your colleagues. Everyone is there to push everyone and help each other grow. You got a perfect working situation.
And I'm gonna bring back something you said earlier about meeting people. I find it just popped in my head as we were talking. That's another really good thing that I've gotten is I've met a lot of other TikTok creators, some that I followed, some that I didn't follow prior to doing research. You were one of the ones that I did not know about.
Wow.
But I went on there because whenever I get assigned a story or I pitch a story and it gets approved, I always go and follow the people that I am doing the story on so that I can kind of, see who you are and get an idea of the kind of questions I want to ask and stuff like that. And I met a lot of really cool people.
Yeah.
Internship, a lot of really cool TikTok creators. And if you get the chance, I definitely encourage that you go check those stories out.
Yeah.
A lot of because there's a lot of cool creators. There's a lot of the creators, I think all of the creators I've done in some way, shape, or form are very positive. Whether it's through activism or just like there was one I did, he adopted all of his kids and he uses music as this kind of way to get them used to the house and stuff like that. And he was just amazing. And I've interviewed a lot of people that are just very amazing, have a same sort of similar energy to you, where they're very positive and open and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you'll meet a lot of great people in this world. And I do have to say, because it has been the main stabilization in my success, you'll meet a lot of great people on TikTok that are talented and needed a platform that celebrated uniqueness. A lot of the other platforms, they celebrate same. Instagram, they've been kind of beat up about that over the past several months. Everything becomes a product. And when everything becomes a product and everything becomes algorithm based only, as far as just getting more people or sales and whatnot, things become more sterile. One of the biggest talks they're having right now is that some of the content creators from Instagram are having a hard time coming over to TikTok. It's not as easy as they think. That you may have 7 million people over there. That's really cute, but you may only have 10,000 over here. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what that means is getting into this space means you have to become more transparent. And in the world that we're living in right now, transparency is very rare. Everyone loves to lie. Everyone loves to use a filter. Everyone loves to throw up a smoke screen so that it's not what you think, when everybody knows that it is. But no, and it's kind of like with TikTok, they're some of the most famous people that are on there are making videos from their bed. They wake up in the middle of the morning, you know what I think? And I'm like, y'all know what I'm talking about? 5 million views. And it's because you're relating to their experience and not their image necessarily, you know.
All right. So I have a few more questions for you.
Sure.
Actually, they're not. Well, I have one question, and then but to finish off, finish off, is there any other important information that you want to give about yourself, your story, anything like that?
Well, I always we'll get this part out of the way first, since I'm always a businesswoman first. So very quickly, I want to make sure that I definitely shout out, you know, my website, imanivanzap.com. If you know, if I can share that here. All of your needs from Auntie, all the love that you need is there. And just go there and you can buy merchandise, you can see pictures. I'm going to have a blog on there soon where I share more of my thoughts. Auntie's Touch, again, her own personal video service of messaging for your loved ones and whatnot is out there. So that's just the business side of what I do. I've got some other projects that are coming out. My debut on network television for Fox Soul is coming out soon. I have music I've worked on, and I kind of got to keep that on the back burner. I can't say too much about it, but it's going to be pretty amazing when that comes out. So those are the technical things I've got going on. The main thing that I just want to leave with everyone as a final thought, if that's where we're heading here, is truly learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. It is not going to be found in a boyfriend. It's not going to be found in a girlfriend or girlfriends and boyfriends, boyfriends and girlfriends. You may be polyamorous, however, is what you need for you is not going to be found in another person. They should only come into your life to enjoy the beautiful journey that you are already on. If you're not already on a beautiful journey, anyone you get with, you're going to end up breaking up with them. You're going to constantly cry tears over relationships and situations and jobs and connection with family by trying to win the affections of someone else that is the main character of their own story. They ain't even think about you like that. No matter how much you think that the birds fly around them and Snow White comes out singing because they're so amazing, they are not thinking about you. And not because they don't necessarily love you. Everyone is concerned about themselves. So while that is the truth, you are also allowed to be concerned about yourself. Let's make that choice the happiest and healthiest choice that we can, so that we can do what? Help you become. And then you'll be coming back to me telling me some story about how now you signed a contract for $10 million. And I'll be applauding and crying for you. Do that.
And then the last question I'm going to ask is, what do you want people to take away from your story?
The main thing I would love for everybody to take away from my story is that I never gave up. There were so many times that I could have just said, I'm done. And I've been there. And I want to say this with sensitivity. I kind of am glad I don't remember her name. I don't want to really say it right now because I don't want to bring any negative light. But there was a social media, a content creator on TikTok that is no longer with us. She decided that it was over. And she was beautiful. She was beautiful. She had so many followers and everything. And there was a pain in her heart that hurt her so bad she couldn't even talk about it. And she couldn't talk about it in time enough to where she'd still be here giving us beautiful art like she always did. I know several creators like that started in beautifully, and then this industry got them. And I don't bill anybody for their choices, but what I do say is my job is to strengthen that which remains. And that which remains is you. Anybody watching this right now, that which remains, you're still here. I made a video, well, somebody actually, I was doing a live, nephew goes live and does makeup, and then he tries to have his little moment. And in the video basically was saying that you don't have to leave. And we're living in a day now, the times are so hard and we have gone through so much. The past 2 years have been excruciating for millions of people. And as a result, there are a lot of people that just don't feel like there's anything worth living for. I'm here to remind you that there is. What is worth living for? You are. You watching this right now, you listening to this right now, wherever you may be, if you are encountering this beautiful conversation I've had with my new baby, Alyssa here, it was for a reason. You didn't stumble here for no reason. You didn't come here because it's just Friday. You didn't come here because you didn't have nothing else better to do. The algorithm of your life willed this interview into your experience, and you have a choice. You have a choice to take every situation that is hurting you and change it so that it can heal you and help you. But you're the only one that can use the magic to do it. I can't do it. Your mama can't do it. Only you can do it. So find the strength within yourself to become. And then go buy my hoodies on my website. Anyway, I'm gonna go agree.
Well, thank you for sitting down and talking to me today. This was
it's a pleasure. This was beautiful. Thank you.
mhm.
Thank you for listening. Continue to listen and support our journalism at WeINSPIREmovement.org. Hit us up on all our social media for daily inspiration. Nothing but the good news.